Hey everyone, welcome to the MLM Lunchtime Leadership Show. I am Bess McCarty of Victoria, Kansas, and this is the show where you can grow for lunch and get food for thought. Of course, maybe it's breakfast or dinner time where you are, but our book for today and this month is John Maxwell's Talent is Never Enough. It's just an incredible book. Thank you for the likes and loves, and if you're all watching the replay, please type in replay because I'd like to thank you for watching. So every month we cover a new personal growth book, and a lot of times it's John Maxwell, who I just love. And welcome, Sean. How are you doing? Glad to see you. Catch Sean White. He does incredible Facebook Lives as well about all aspects of personal growth and coaching. So he's definitely a person to follow. So this show, by the way, before I get into the topic today, the chapter today that we're going to cover is belief lifts your talent. So basically this book is, John is saying that what we need besides talent to be successful, not just talent, but what else we need around that, and has some cool stories about that. So just a way to explain, this show is sponsored by the MLM Millionaire Academy, our generic school for network marketers, where we teach how to always get a yes, never have to deal with objections. It's the easiest, most simplest, most duplicatable method I've ever seen in all of network marketing. I'm not in a network marketing company. I'm a generic teacher, but I was full-time for years, and now I love sharing and helping network marketers, hundreds and hundreds of them, to break through fears and negative beliefs and learn the skills to get where they want to go fast. And this stuff really works. But part of it is a personal growth. And by the way, I'll post a link about our school below, but if you want to check it out, it's mlmmillionaireclub.com/basics. And Sharon is actually a member in that academy, in the MLM Millionaire Academy. And he said, great young lady. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Get a better seat here. So and Sean is tagging some people. Thank you so much. He's an incredible sharer. So talent is never enough. John says that a lot of times people can make the mistake of leaning on their talent, and they think, oh, that's going to get me by, and I don't have to be good in other areas. People are going to overlook, or the success trail is going to overlook my deficiency in other areas. I'll just lean on my talent, but that doesn't work. There's a lot of things that we need besides talent, just talent, and John has identified 13 of them by way of introduction, which Jeff and Brandy covered yesterday. I'll cover these real quick here. And by the way, Jeffrey David Gamble and Brandy Pember present the MLM Lunchtime Show Monday through Friday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time, except Wednesdays when I present. So yesterday they covered the intro, and he says besides just talent, you need belief, passion, initiative, focus, preparation, practice, perseverance, courage, teachability, character, relationships, ability, responsibility, and teamwork. All those things multiply and energize and direct and position, sharpen and sustain and expand and protect and influence your talent. So he said you need all of these things. Talent alone is not going to cut it. So today I'm covering the first of that, and that is that belief lifts your talent. I have had the great pleasure lately to coach two outstanding individuals. I do private coaching as well as teach in the school, the MLM Millionaire Academy, but also I coach people privately. Most are network marketers, most are women that I coach, but sometimes I coach other people, internet marketers, actors, and so on. So one of the people that I've had the pleasure recently of coaching that has this belief firmly in place is an up-and-coming network marketer who came to me to clear out some mindset issues that he knew were holding him back from childhood. So we are doing that now, and he's had breakthroughs and says, okay, I see the way now. And now he's making all of his huge multitude of prospecting calls every day, which he wasn't before. So he's doing this now. One thing I was very struck with the belief is the belief that this man has in himself. That's how much he thinks of himself and how much he thinks of network marketing as a model to get him where he wants to go. And welcome, Vicky. Glad to see you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. You know what I should do is I should take a moment and I should invite people to come on, because that's important too. We want to let people know about this. And I invite you, like Sean did, I invite you to tag people if you know friends who can use some belief in themselves and how to get that to add to their talent. And some people share this in Facebook groups that be watching live at the same time, whether it be personal growth groups or network marketing groups, because this is the MLM Lunchtime Leadership Show, teaching leadership within network marketing, but for all entrepreneurs. Actually, our purpose of this show is to help people grow, to educate, equip, and empower entrepreneurs and create independent servant leaders. So we do include all entrepreneurs who really everything, leadership depends on that. Entrepreneurship depends on leadership. In fact, John Maxwell says everything rises and falls on leadership. He's the #1 leadership expert in the world by many people's book, and has written over 100 books on the topic, and each one is super powerful and full. He's also a speaker for corporations and entrepreneurs and sometimes for network marketers. So we're lucky to have him in our lives and happy to be presenting on his books. So I've just invited some people. Thank you too for inviting, and welcome, Teresa. Glad to see you. So was speaking about the fellow that two of the people that I've had the privilege to coach very recently, and the first fellow is an up-and-coming network marketer, and he has such belief in himself. He knows that he's going to be a multimillionaire, and he knew that he was going to do this the mindset clearing process with me, and it was a little while ago. He said, I'm going to get the funds. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do this for myself. And he did. And the belief in himself, where he's going and what he's capable of doing, and the lives that he's going to impact is like 1,000% sure. So he, funny that I got this chapter right after I had this demonstration. Another fellow that I had the privilege of coaching beginning just last week is an actor, and he has made, I think, close over 120 some films in the last 15 years. Started at the age of 35 when he knew, okay, I know I'm supposed to be an actor. I've known since I was a child. Now I'm going to do it, and he's done it. And that's real phenomenal for starting at age 35. But that's just the beginning of it. He knows deep in his being, in his cells, in his heart, in his gut. He knows what his destiny is, and he's stepping into it. And he has no doubt about that. Yeah, I found again, 1,000% belief in himself. So I've had the privilege of seeing the beauty of how belief lifts your talent. They're doing this. And welcome, Benny. Glad to see ya. So belief lifts your talent. When I was young, or a teenager, my mom would see me in action. She would see me do things. And she said to me, you can do whatever you put your mind to it. She was observing that I had that belief in myself and that belief in life, that wherever I put my sights on, I could make it happen. I could make it work. And why not? Because whatever we imagine can be created. Whatever you perceive, whatever you imagine, you can achieve that, right? Whatever you perceive, you can achieve. And that's why we have our dreams, to get us beyond where we are now, to say, oh, it looked like it was impossible before, but now I can do it. So that is the belief. And John Maxwell says the first and greatest obstacle for success for most people is their belief in themselves. Isn't that incredible? He started this book of the 13 things that he identified. He said with the first and the greatest obstacle is belief in themselves. He said it's lack of trust in themselves, which is a self-imposed limitation. Now I could stop right there, and that would be powerful to contemplate on all day and put into and make a difference in our lives, wouldn't it? He said lack of trust in themselves is a ceiling on talent. But when people believe in themselves, it unleashes this power in themselves and resources around them that almost immediately take them to a higher level. Your potential is a picture of what you can become. Belief helps you to see that picture and reach for it. And was it Goethe that said that beautiful quote that I love, that the moment one acts to make a decision of commitment, that all heaven and earth moves to make sure that that happens for you. Once you give it your commitment, life says, might as well give it to him. He's going to do it anyway, you know. But funny that things and people and the resources just pop up and appear, that we need to do it. When it looks bigger than us, have the belief anyway. Because life can make the impossible possible. Life can be miraculous. Whatever you imagine, you can achieve. We can achieve. It's true. So let us go for the stars and trust in life and trust in ourselves, but also trust in the resources of life and this big thing, this unstoppable, magical thing that does move heaven and earth to support our dreams and our goals and our commitment. That's a powerful thing. So, hey, welcome, Sharon. How are you? I have been thinking of you. So let us bring our belief to our talent. He talks a little bit in here. John Maxwell talks in this book, Talent is Never Enough, a story about Joe Namath, the famous football quarterback, and his coaches were his family members. His first coach is his father and two brothers, but he was light and small for his age, but he was good. And he had a certain fearlessness. So people would say, oh, you know, what can this scrawny, skinny little kid, short little kid do? But he got in and he was like the best baseball player and for the teams. And he just didn't believe in the limitations. He says because he believed in himself and because he put in the practice and got the skill as well. But he didn't let his size stop him. And of course, you know, we know he became to be a famous football quarterback, Joe Namath. So he said, your potential is, John Maxwell, your potential is a picture of what you can become. Thomas Edison said, if we did all the things we were capable of doing, we would literally astonish ourselves. And Mahatma Gandhi said, the difference between what we do and what we're capable of doing would solve most of the world's problems. That difference. And this is an astounding thing too. John Powell, who wrote The Secret of Staying in Love, estimates that the average person reaches only 10% of his potential, sees only 10% of the beauty that's all around him, hears only 10% of its music and poetry, smells only 10% of its fragrance, and tastes only 10% of the deliciousness of being alive. How about that? I mean, there's 90% more waiting for me. I'm trying to stretch my imagination right now because my life is pretty full and pretty happy and pretty satisfying and pretty wonderful, pretty fulfilling. There's 90% more, you know, if I'm an average person. Let's see, what else can I share with you from this chapter that's so very powerful? I'm gonna read you this little chapter of John's because it's good. Your potential is really up to you. It doesn't matter what others think. Doesn't matter where you came from. Doesn't even matter what you might have believed about yourself at a previous time in your life. It's about what lies within you and whether you can bring it out. Remember that story of the little boy who lived on a farm, and he liked to go hiking in the mountains and stuff, and he found this eagle egg in an eagle's nest. He took it home, put it in must have been very carefully, put it in a chicken nest to hatch it. that eagle hatched, came out, thought it was a chicken. That's all he saw, chickens around him. His mom was a chicken, and he thought he was a chicken. He acted like a chicken. He could have flown into the skies. Right? Chickens can't fly into the skies, but this guy could. But he didn't, because he thought he was a chicken. Until he saw an eagle flying in the sky one day, and a strange stirring came up within him, and he spread his wings, and off he took, leaving the ground, leaving the comfort of the ground, and the life as he thought was his limit, that the ground was his limit. He had to stay on the ground, but he flew. So let us look up, let us know who we really are. So what do we believe in? He says, believe in your potential like the eagle. Number 2, believe in yourself. There's an insurance company that found that its salespeople who expected to succeed sold 37% more insurance than those who didn't. There's a great correlation, he says, between self-confidence and achievement. There's a greater correlation between that than there is between IQ and achievement. In other words, he's saying that self-confidence is even more important than IQ in creating success. Arnold Palmer, the great golfer, had this hanging in his office. If you think you are beaten, you are. If you think you dare not, you don't. If you like to win, but think you can't, it's almost certain you won't. Life's battles don't always go to the stronger or faster man, but sooner or late, the man who wins is the man who thinks he can. I like that too. Okay, 3rd is believe in your mission. Believing in what you are doing is very, very powerful and very attractive. I was just reading about Joe Salatin, an organic farmer who can feed 1,000 people from his 100 acres. And he said anybody can do this, and we don't really need the industrial farming or even an industrial organic, which is not that good for our health. But he follows the laws of nature and lets nature do the work harder than he does, and that's how he's able to be very, very productive on his farm. He follows the laws of the nature and the nature of the animals and the plants and the grasses and everything, and he grows chickens, cows, pigs, sells eggs. What else? Off his little farm in Virginia. And he teaches people how to do this. He believes so much in his mission that he has written, a lot of books, made a lot of videos, and taught classes and have people come to the farm to be able to do this. And what keeps him going and successful is his mission, believing that he's working for the health of the people and the health of the land and economy, and it just makes sense. I really, really love this man and what he's doing. And you can... He's just driven. His whole life is dedicated to his mission. Okay. Hope it's not interfering, because I put it on Do Not Disturb. I hope it didn't interfere with the live. So how do you keep going in a negative environment? You believe in your mission. And Joel ran across plenty of opposition, from people's ignorance to the FDA and other regulatory agencies trying to shut him down and working against him. So he not only, had to run his farm and raise a family there and train people and teach people and write books and speak and all that stuff, but he had to work against the opposition of big pharma and big corporations that saw, organic farmers can be true organic farmers can be a threat or take a cut out of what we would sell to people, so we'd rather shut them down. So he has to work against all that. That keeps him going in a negative environment. And who was it that said you have to learn to become immune to discouragement or weather that? But your mission should always make people's life better as a result. You can say, as you fulfill your mission, will others around you say, my life is better as a result, or my life is worse as a result? So our mission should always want to better people's lives, right? Okay, another thing that belief determines expectations. Oh, be willing to be disappointed. That's what he said. Be willing to be disappointed. That gives you the freedom to succeed. That helps to make you immune to discouragement and disappointment. If you expect to win, you maximize your talent and you keep trying. Like a lot of the people that I know and a lot of people in this book. Franklin D. Roosevelt said, the only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. So we need to have this expectation, which improves the outcome. Harvey Mackay, this is a cool story. Harvey Mackay tells the story of this professor who stood before a class of 30 senior molecular biology students. And before he passed out the final exam, this is a really cool story, you guys. He goes, okay, before he passed it out, he said, I have been your privilege to be your instructor this semester. I know how hard you've worked for this test, and I know most of you are off to medical school or grad school next fall. I'm well aware of how much pressure you are to keep up your GPAs up, that grade point average. And because I'm confident that you know this material, he knew that they studied, I'm prepared to offer an automatic B to anyone who opts to skip taking the final exam. This is like a guarantee, right, to people that would fear that they get something lesser. So the relief was audible. A number of the students jump up from their desks to thank their professor for the lifeline he had thrown them. Guaranteed B, okay. I'm not so, a gift to keep my grade point average up. So a number of students jumped up. Any other takers? The professor asked. This is your last opportunity. One more student decided to go. The instructor then handed out the final exam, which consisted of 2 sentences. It read, congratulations, you've just received an A in this class for believing in yourself. The people who stayed believed they could do better than a B. And for that, he gave them an A, for the belief in themselves. I just love that story. And welcome, Nancy. Glad to see you. Welcome, everybody. Hey, if you would like to increase your belief to augment your talent, if you would like to increase your belief, if you are here today to pick up a tip of how to increase the belief in yourself, please type yes. Because this chapter is just full of tips today. But I would just like to hear from you, like your intent, your commitment, why you're here. If you want to increase your belief in yourself today and in your talent, please type in yes. If you want more belief in yourself. Who doesn't, right? We all want more than we have. It's unlimited what we could have. Thank you for the likes and loves too. I appreciate it. And thank you for commenting, sharing, tagging people. You have a question? I'd like to hear a question below. I'll look at those in just a minute. You have a tip for people? I'd like to hear that below. So we got some yeses. Yeses, everybody, yes, okay. Me too. That's why I'm reading this, and that's why I'm sharing it with you, because I get a lot when I share. Okay, so he says, expectations determine actions. We cannot live in a way that is inconsistent with our expectations with ourselves. It just doesn't happen. So that's like our programming, right? Our subconscious belief in ourselves is our automatic computer programming that just makes it. We have to live inconsistent with our expectations of ourselves. There's 2 kinds of people in this world: things who get things done, and people who don't want to make mistakes. So we must be willing to make the mistakes and risk. This guy who, it was Sir Edmund Hillary, who failed to climb. He was a photographer, he climbed Mount Everest, and he was defeated a few times, didn't make it to the top. But you know what he said at this dinner? He said, Mount Everest, you have defeated us, but I will return. And I will defeat you. Because you cannot get any bigger, and I can. Love that too. You cannot get any bigger, but I can. We can say that to our obstacles. And he did. You don't overcome challenges by making them smaller. You overcome them by making yourself bigger. Was it Jim Rohn that said, don't wish your life was easier, wish you were better? Right? So it's easier to better ourselves than it is to change life, actually. It's easier to grow bigger and to change ourselves than it is to control life or control anything else, because the only person I can control is myself. And he also tells a story about these mountain climbers in Switzerland who, it was more like a long mountain, high altitude hiking. But there was a group of them that departed from the base camp early in the morning with the intention of making it to the top of the mountain in the afternoon. But partway up, there was this halfway house for people to stop, and eat and rest a little bit and refresh themselves to finish the climb. But guess what? There was always a good portion of the group who stayed. They didn't go to the top. We'll just stay here, we'll have fun, we'll have kind of a party. They were happy and talkative and all that. While the other ones, they left and they go, okay, we're going to have it easy here. We're just going to relax and enjoy the lodge and, wait for them to come back down. We're not going to go all the way to the top. We're just going to take it easy and rest. So they were happy and talkative when the group left. But as the day went on, began to get a little darker, many of them made their way over to the window and looked up in the mountain. And it got quiet in there while they were waiting for their companions to return, because they realized they missed a special opportunity. Most of them wouldn't come that way again or have a second chance to climb that mountain again. They missed it. They missed the view that was at the top. John says, don't allow that to happen to you. Live the life that you're meant to. See yourself as you could be, then do everything in your power to believe that you can become that person. He gives some exercises. He goes, just reading this alone isn't enough. Here's some exercises to do. Would you guys like to hear these exercises? Okay, number one, I actually did these yesterday. I wrote all these out, and it was pretty cool. Number one, write a short description of yourself as you are today. You might want to take notes so you can do this later or hear the replay. Number two, what are your top 5 talents? This is time to explore them. There's a book called Now Discover Your Strengths, or What Color is Your Parachute? Those can help to identify your top 5 talents. Number 3, list 3 activities you're most passionate about. Number 4, think about what opportunities might be presenting themselves to you. It could be around where you live, where you work, who you know, what's happening in your industry. List as many opportunities as you can. Number 5, look and see what kind of picture emerges based on what you just wrote. You just wrote your talents, your interests, and your opportunities. Look at what kind of picture shows itself. Use a short phrase or description. Write down what the mission picture could be that you see. Number 6, what you just wrote is a description of who you could be. Now give yourself an action plan and do it. Enlist the help of others if needed. That's where coaches come in, upline, sponsors, mentors, support groups, masterminds can come in. That's why people call me as a coach to get their clarity. Like one man said the other day, clarity is my biggest thing. Everything follows when you got that clarity. Other people hire me as a coach to get their strategy outlined. Other people hire me to get accountability and put that strategy into action. Some for all of those things. Some to clear out the negative fears and beliefs that can stop them, which is 80% of success is mindset. So there's help for all of these things that I mentioned. The help is there. Every single resource that you need to reach your goals and your dreams is available to you. Don't let money be an object. There's always a way to get the money or to get the resources, or there's always a way. That's never an obstacle. One of the ways that we help network marketers to reach their goals is with our school, the MLM Millionaire Academy. And so many of the people on here are in the school or know about the school. This is where Jeffrey David Gamble and I teach classes every Sunday evening online. The school has been in existence 10 years, and we have been teaching the current form of always get a yes when prospecting, or the favor script, for 2 years. And people have had tremendous results when they use it. They jump ranks. They find it simpler and easier than they ever could imagine in network marketing. We also teach the 10 core commitments. This class is very, very affordable. We've made it, we've lowered the price to only $25 a month beyond what it was. It used to be $100 a month. Now it's just $25, because we want to help everybody at this time, especially to get these tools into their hands. So we cover the skills and the mindset and the leadership and the personal growth in these classes. And you can find that at MLMMillionaireClub.com/basics, and I'll post the link below too. Now, you can find replays for these shows that we present every day. The MLM Lunchtime Leadership Show, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. Jeffrey David Gamble and Brandy Pember or I present through the week, and you can always find all the replays at the Facebook group, MLM Lunchtime Leadership Show. You can also find Jeff's Cliff Notes for each of the books there, so that's really valuable to some people. You can get the notes, listen to the replay, read the book itself, all of these options. And you can even, when you join that group, you can even get a free ebook of John Maxwell's. So, and if anybody would like to be on a text reminder, let me know, and I can give you a text reminder before the shows as well. So thank you all for being here. Who has a question? Who has a tip about belief in themselves? I know you're all talented. So now we're going to add in all the things that we need besides talent to be successful with this book. We'll cover this for the next several weeks. John Maxwell's Talent is Never Enough. Hope you can get it and follow along, or check out the replays and and Jeff's notes at MLM Lunchtime Leadership Show Facebook group. See y'all. Thanks for being on. I love you guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.